Hey, this is Celia Kobe from the Kobe Real Estate team at William Ravis, and I'm here today in my office in Brookline, Massachusetts. Um, just wanted to talk to you about one of the questions that I received. Well, I receive actually daily in my business, and especially when uh, you go online and you see a property that has contingent status. So, what contingent does it mean, and why does it happen? So, if you go online in different sites and you see that the property is contingent, so it's not active anymore, or it has the letter CTG. So that doesn't mean that the seller of that property has accepted an offer, and the buyer that had made the offer on the property has put a couple of conditions to the seller to buy that property. So conditions may be different, but the most standard conditions that we see in this case, there are a few. The number one would be when the buyer of the property tells to the seller that I'll buy your property, but within a certain time frame, he has to perform a home inspection on the property. And that usually happens between 7 to 10 days. Another contingency is um, a document or a contract which is called the purchase and sell agreement. So after the offer get accepted and the buyer has done the home inspection, then he moves to the next step, which is signing uh, that purchase and sell agreement document, and the buyer there has to put another deposit on that, which is usually it's about 5% of the purchase price. Let's say you buy a property at $1 million. The 5% deposit for that property would be $50,000 that you put that deposit at the time that you sign the purchase and sell agreement. Another contingency, which is one of the biggest contingencies in a contract, it's the mortgage contingency, or the getting the commitment from the bank or the letter from the bank that the buyer has been approved to buy that property. So this is one of the standard contingencies that we see maybe in 75% of the contracts that we sign. That contingency doesn't happen when the buyer of that property is a cash buyer, so he decides to buy the property in cash. The other contingencies that can be, especially in today's market, is that the buyer of the property will tell the seller, hey, Mr. Seller, I'll buy your property, but first I have to sell my own property. So all these terms and all these phases that goes on today's contract, these are that decides what to say that the property has a contingent status. So if one of these contingencies cannot be met, then the buyer can pull out of the contract. He gets all his deposits back, and the property goes back on the market. So if you see the term contingent, it means that there are some conditions to be cleared in that transactions, and that transaction may happen if all these contingencies have been met and clear, or that transaction may fail or may be null and void, and the property can go back on the market if one of these contingencies have not been met. So if you have other questions about what contingency means and which are some of the contingencies that the buyer needs to put to the seller in order to protect himself, his interest, and his deposit, please get in touch with us, and we'll let you know what does that mean. Again, thank you for watching this video, and if you see value in this video and you want to share with your friends and relatives, please do. Or if you have further questions about me or what contingency means, please let us know, and we'll help you with all your real estate needs. Thank you.